Now I want to give you a little illustration that really illustrates the 4 at work. And this is all from Gary Smalley. You know, most of what I share, anything I share that's in terms of relationships or human psychology or stuff, most of it comes from Gary. Gary really was a treasure chest of information. So this was one of the illustrations he used to give. We're in a first grade classroom, and the teacher gives an assignment to all the kids. They all have some molding clay on their desk, and the assignment is create a toy soldier. Create a soldier out of clay. And she says, okay, you've got 20 minutes to do this. Well, 20 minutes go by, and she blows the whistle. And the first thing you notice is there is a kid crying. And you go up to his desk, and he's the beaver, and he's crying because he has a perfect face. It has lips, it has eyes, it has eyelashes and eyebrows, nose, and the nose has little holes in it. But that's all he's got because he had to make a good face. How can you have a soldier without a good face, right? And but running up to him is a golden retriever. Oh, that's okay. Look at, I love how you did the eyelashes. You did a good job on the face. The otter, meanwhile, he didn't get anything done. He's been the class clown. In fact, he may look at the face and say, you call that a soldier? And he's joking around. And the lion, on the other hand, that's me, he's got a soldier, an aircraft carrier, a tank, a machine gun, a parachute. Unfortunately, you can't recognize any of them because they're unrecognizable. He wants to get a lot done, but he's not concerned about perfection. So that is a illustration of how they all flow together. Now, people, when I do this, I usually take a lot of time, and people during a seminar will come up and say, well, okay, who makes good marriage partners? The answer is that's a loaded question. I would never suggest that 2 lions marry each other, but I did know one couple when they took the test, and this guy was he was a multimillionaire, and he was a CEO of a big company, and he and his wife were both high lions. And I said, you guys must have some world-class arguments. He said, oh, we do. And he says, but we learned early on a secret. And I said, what's the secret? And he said, she has her areas, I have my areas. I stay out of her areas unless she invites me into them. She stays out of mine unless I invite her into my areas. And we've built those 2 fences. Well, that's called borders. And we'll learn when we get into the relationship part of this program, we'll learn how important it is that we create and respect borders. It's critical to any relationship. Until you learn to do that, there's going to be unnecessary conflict. Typically, honestly, usually lions and golden retrievers end up pairing up. I do have, like I said, a son that is a golden retriever that married another golden retriever, and it is amazing. They are so sweet, and guess what? Their kids are amazing kids because they've had so much love and nurturing that golden retrievers, it's natural for a golden retriever. For a lion, nurturing is a learned skill. But it's critical that we know the personality types of the people we work with so we can draw on their strengths in our weak areas and vice versa. I want to go back to what we talked about in our second session, maybe even in the first. I guess it was in the first, where we talked about 4 approaches to any problem, opportunity, or whatever. Drifter, pursuer, achiever, superachiever. Let me show you how this plays into the personalities. How people deal with strengths and weaknesses. Drifters, they do whatever comes naturally, think everyone should act the way they do, okay? Pursuers, They play to their strengths and pursue their projects, goals, and dreams, but by playing to their strengths. If something's outside of their strength, they usually don't pursue it. Achievers, they play to their strengths, they strengthen their weaknesses, and they balance their strengths and weaknesses with learned behavior, okay? So even if you're a high lion, high beaver, you can't say, oh, I'm hopeless. I'm always going to be critical if I'm a beaver. A lion, I'm always going to be rude to other people and not listen. No, we can learn when we take on a weak area. Usually a weakness is a strength out of balance. So we can all learn how to become stronger in our weak areas. But as you're going to learn, as we get into our strategies, the single most powerful strategy, Larry King asked me this on Larry King Live, when he heard there were 15 strategies for super achievers. He said, which one's the most? Which one's the most important? I said, Larry, they're all important. He says, okay, well, which one's the best? I said, they're all so good. Well, one's got to be better than the others. One has to be the best. I said, well, there is one that's certainly the most powerful. If you do this one right, you can screw up almost all the others and you'll still achieve extraordinary success. Okay, that's what I want. That's what I'm talking about. I said, okay, it's effective partnering. Not just partnering. I have had effective partnering that have made me millions and millions of dollars. And I've had ineffective partnering that has caused me to lose millions and millions of dollars. So the difference was in who I partnered with. So one of our strategies we're going to look at down the road is how can you effectively partner? How can you avoid the wrong kinds of partners? There's 7 red flags, and dads, you need to learn those red flags because you want any future son-in-law or daughter-in-law, if you see any of these 7 red flags, you want to pray that your daughter doesn't end up or your son doesn't end up with that person, okay? You'll learn that in partnering. Same thing about business partnering. But personality types are critical to that. Okay, now we get to super achievers. What do they do differently than the others? Well, like the achiever, they play to their strengths and they strengthen their weaknesses. They balance their strengths and weaknesses with learned behavior, but here it is. They partner with people who have strengths that offset their weaknesses. And that's what a super achiever does. They typically don't partner. As a lion, I really don't need to partner with another lion. I need to partner with otters, golden retrievers, and beavers. And we got all of them in our little company that we started. We have a new company, as you know, and it's amazing to see the different personality types of the original people involved in our company. We have a high otter, we have a high beaver. I'm sorry, yeah, we do. We have a high beaver, we have two high lions. But see, I respect her areas because I wouldn't want to do her job. She loves her job. I couldn't do it. And then we have, who am I missing? A golden retriever. And guess who's going to help us with all of our customer service originally? It's the golden retriever. Why? Because she makes everybody feel valued. When you meet this person, you walk away and you go, wow, man, I feel good about myself. Because she makes you feel good about yourself. That's what golden retrievers do. So this is really important to your future, for your relationships, for your job, your pursuit of your dreams. And I'm really glad we had a chance to do it. And there should be some material on our website that you can access that'll give you even more information or additional information in this area of personality types. Gary taught me this at least 40 years ago. And boy, it made a huge change in how I dealt with my children. Give you an example. You can't discipline a golden retriever the same way you discipline a lion. If you do, you'll crush their spirit. Proverbs says, a joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. So you can't, as a parent, treat a golden retriever and discipline them the way you would a lion. At the same time, if you discipline a lion the way you do a golden retriever, guess what? They'll run all over you, and they'll run over all of the other kids. So each personality type requires different behavior on the part of the people that are relating to them. That's it for now, and I look forward to our next video, and we're going to look at a new software package for your brain.